Hello, and welcome to the HOSA Competitive Event Update for 2020 through 2021. I can't believe it. This presentation will highlight the major changes and things you can expect to be different with the September 1st release of the Competitive Event Guidelines. Please also know that we are working our very best to provide additional resources as in result to the COVID-19 pandemic, and more of those resources will be coming to you end of July and August of this summer. So to begin, we're going to go over some general event items that apply to multiple events. So first of all is some formatting language that you'll see has been changed in some of the guidelines. Anything that references title pages or portfolios, essays, things have been updated and cleaned up to allow for consistency among events. In many of our skill events, we have increased the points that are given for performing the skill on the correct side or the correct limb as indicated in the scenario. So if the scenario says to take the left ankle versus the right ankle, we're just increasing the value, the point value for doing that on the correct place. Additionally, in skill events, when equipment is provided by HOSA event staff or when equipment is supposed to be brought by competitors, those steps may not be verbalized for points. I know we often encourage our competitors to talk through and verbalize, speak as they're going through the skills, but when equipment is provided, those steps do need to actually be performed in order to get the points. And then finally, for the general event items, the binder pockets have been eliminated from all applicable events. We have added additional pages to that maximum number in the portfolio to account for any materials that teams may have previously put inside of these binder pockets. That was just adding some confusion for our team members, so we just eliminated that and added additional pages for you. So our health science and our recognition events. First of all, our medical reading, secondary and post-secondary collegiate books. Here are the 5 books. You can see Identity Leadership. This is our one book that we pick every year in each division that is focused on leadership and kind of personal and professional development. So that's that book this year. The Magic Feather Effect, The Science of Alternative Medicine, and The Surprisingly Power of Belief. We also have The Real Grey's Anatomy, Epic Measures, and one that just got excellent reviews from our team, our selection team, was Compassionomics, the revolutionary scientific evidence that caring makes a difference. So these are your 5 books for medical reading for secondary, post-secondary, collegiate. For middle school, we're also using the Compassionomics for middle school. We are bringing back an older book, but one that was super popular when we used it in the past medical reading event, The German Freak's Guide to Outwitting Colds and Flu. Super relevant in this time, of course. And then the leadership book for the middle school division is called Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life and Maybe the World. In medical spelling, there is a resource online through Tabor's Medical Dictionary. It's an audio glossary, and it allows you to type in each word online, and it offers an audio pronunciation of that word. So for ILC, we're going to be using this for the spell down. This is going to help prevent any mispronunciations, and sometimes dialect issues, just people from different parts of the country may pronounce words differently. So using this one online audio resource for ILC is going to be a great change. And the guidelines will be written so that states have the flexibility of using this audio resource at the state level as well. Health informatics is going to be a brand new health science test. There will be 75 questions in 90 minutes. And really this is going to cover the management of health information and assimilation of technology in the healthcare setting. We're really excited about our partnership with the University of Phoenix for this event and to bring this event to our members. Now for our health professions event. In clinical specialty, just a slight change. The length of the skill video shown to the judges is now going to be up to the competitor. We're not going to be so prescriptive in how much we're requiring of the skill video. It just must be incorporated into the overall 6-minute presentation. So a little bit more flexibility and up to the discretion of the competitor for how much they show to the judges. Some pretty big changes in nursing assisting and personal care. First, both events are now aligned to each other in terms of the skills. So 3 skills have been deleted from both of the events: positioning the patient, changing the patient's gown, and discharging the patient. And then in their place, you can see the 3 that have been added: admitting a patient, donning the PPE, and caring for the ostomy. To make these changes, we really wanted to increase the rigor of both of these events, and we wanted to find nursing assisting specific textbooks that were more targeted to these specific skills. So you'll see that DHO has been retired from the personal care, and then the Sorrentino book also from nursing assisting. So the two new resources for both of these events are listed here on your screen. Sports medicine, skill 1, the anatomical landmark identification, the timing has increased from 6 minutes to 7 minutes. And then for skill 2, the joint action and maximum range of motion, we have changed the points from 60 to 75 to account for giving our competitors points for correct spelling when they're filling out that chart for the rating sheet. For vet science, we have retired the muzzle skill, and in its place, we've added the skill of wrapping a surgical pack. So I think that'll be some good changes for our veterinary science event and for health professions as a whole. So now our emergency preparedness events. First of all, CERT skills. Last winter, there was a new CERT curriculum that was released, and we, of course, don't change things in the middle of a HOSA membership year. So now that we are through the year, we have aligned everything in the CERT skills event to the new curriculum. So you can see those will continue to be in alignment, as that is our continued resource for this event. For public health, first of all, the presentation has just changed slightly from 10 minutes down to 9 minutes. Looking at data over the last number of years overall at ILC, on average, most of our teams were only using that 9 minutes, and so we just adjusted that timing accordingly. And then the topic that everybody wants to hear or know is our topics. And for 2021, for public health, it will be reducing health disparities. Social determinants of health can help. And this will really ask teams to look at social determinants of health in your communities and ask you what you can do as a team, as a HOSA chapter, to address those in your community. So we're really excited to see what our teams and our competitors come up with. A small change in epidemiology, we just dropped the time allowed for the test from 120 minutes to 90 minutes. We know this is a super popular event, especially this year, so just a slight change in the timing, but everything else has remained the same in epidemiology. For CPR and EMT, just some minor changes to the list of supplies that the competitor can bring or is required to bring for the event. It actually gives competitors and the teams a little bit more flexibility in terms of the supplies. So you'll see those with the September 1st release of the guidelines. And now our leadership events. First, for our RPS, Research, Persuasive Writing, and Speaking, the topic is technology use. Does it make us more or less connected? So you will need to take a stance, that technology makes us more connected or technology makes us less connected. And you will write your paper and develop your speech around that item. For prepared speaking and speaking skills, the topic is Unlock Your Potential. And this, of course, ties into the annual theme every year for HOSA as a whole. And so that Unlock Your Potential was unveiled at the VILC just a couple of weeks ago. Additionally, for speaking skills, just a slight change in the presentation length. Again, looking at data over the past number of years, we're changing that speech length from a maximum of 5 minutes to a maximum of 4 minutes. Healthy lifestyle in the health assessment will now be designed by competitors to align with their chosen SMART goal. So previously we had one generic health assessment and all competitors were using that same kind of predetermined assessment. And depending on what people's SMART goals were for competition, really a lot of parts of that predetermined assessment were not applicable and even contradictory in some cases to what students were trying to do with their SMART goals. So being able to create your own health assessment as a competitor is just going to give the competitors a lot more flexibility, and it's going to be a lot more relevant to what they're doing with these healthy lifestyle SMART goals. Extemporaneous health poster. We gave everyone a heads up last year about this, but Extemp health poster is now middle school division only event for ILC. So this past year was the last year Extemporaneous health poster was for all 3 divisions. So moving forward, it is now at ILC just a middle school only event. And to kind of replace this in the leadership category, we are adding an event called Research Poster Presentation that will be for the secondary and post-secondary collegiate division. So secondary competitors are going to pose a research question around a given health topic and then develop a research poster showcasing their findings. And then for the post-secondary collegiate division, they will have an added requirement of giving a presentation and kind of defending the thesis of their health topic with the research that they did. So this event, extemporaneous health poster and then research poster presentation for both divisions, it will look different for middle school, secondary, and post-secondary with these slight changes. And now teamwork events. First of all, biomedical debate. Some bigger changes with this one I think people will be excited about because people have been asking for this for a number of years. So first of all, round 2, it's going to be moving to more of a seated bracket round. So it will look a lot more like HOSA Bowl. So the seating that you'll get will be based on your average team test score from round 1. Some of the components of the debate format have been altered, and we have reduced the debate timing down from nearly half an hour down to 15 minutes. And so by doing that, we've been able to put this event into that seated kind of bracket round, and I think teams are going to be very excited about this. So still a round 1 test, you'll move on based on that test score to the bracket round, and then you'll move through the bracket just like you would HOSA Bowl in terms of your debates against other teams. And the topic next year. So for 2020-21, the topic is designer babies. Parents should be allowed to genetically engineer their offspring. So lots of good genetic engineering questions, definitely you'll see on the test. All right, another slight change in the length of presentations is in health education. Again, looking at the data, teams just weren't using that full 6 minutes. So we're changing that from a 6-minute presentation to a 5-minute presentation allowed in health education. And PSA topic, the future of healthcare, how HOSA is making a difference. So it's definitely going to be kind of talking about HOSA and what HOSA is doing to prepare future health professionals and prepare this next generation of health workers. The world now, I think more than ever, needs healthcare workers, and I think HOSA, more than any other organization, is doing what we can to prepare them. And so we're excited to see what kind of PSAs our teams come up with around this topic. And additionally, this event will now be 1 round instead of 2 rounds. So at ILC, everybody comes in and shows their PSA and gives their presentation to the judge. So we're no longer having that in a 2-round event at ILC. HOSA Bowl. HOSA Bowl, there are definitely some additional changes or bigger changes. If you were a team that participated in this event at the virtual ILC, you kind of got a taste of some of this at the ILC. But now moving forward, teams will be required to have 4 members. So previously teams could have 3 to 4, and now this year every team will need to have exactly 4 members. So during the buzzer rounds, team members are going to be designated as team member A, B, C, and D. And for the first 8 minutes of the 10-minute round, that 10 minutes hasn't changed. For those first 8 minutes, questions will be given and competitors are going to have to go head-to-head against each other. So it'll be team member A on one side versus team member A on the other. And only those 2 will have the opportunity to answer question 1. And then question 2 comes up and team member B versus team member B go against each other. Only those 2 have the option to answer question 2, and so on. So that's what will happen for the first 8 minutes of HOSA Bowl. And then the last 2 minutes of the round will be back to quote unquote the old way, right? So questions can be answered by any team member kind of in that last 2 minutes of the lightning round for HOSA Bowl. So that will be applicable to all the buzzer rounds for the seated bracket that we have traditionally had for HOSA Bowl. And then finally, with health career display in the middle school division only, it has been changed from 2 rounds to only 1 round. So all teams in the middle school division in health career display will bring their display and also give the presentation. And then additionally, there will no longer be a display time for the middle school division. That display time has been eliminated. So thank you so much for your time and for joining us to hear a little bit more about the competitive events updates for 2020-2021. Thanks and have a great day.